Hey, and welcome back to Wild Mythology, the channel where we unravel the mysteries of myth, folklore, and legends. As always, I welcome you to the channel with bread and salt as a symbol for the journey we are about to commence. For today's video, I'm going to list 15 amazing mythical creatures from the Oceanian region, including creatures from Polynesia, Melanesia, Hawaii, Micronesia, and the creatures from the Maori legends. Ferocious creatures like the flaming teeth giant, creatures of creation like Areop-Enap, and dangerous creatures like the Nightmarchers. Get ready, because we're going to be talking about all these creatures plus more. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe right now so you can stay updated on the numerous creature videos coming out in the next few weeks. Alright, enough talking. Let's get to the monsters and mythical creatures here on Wild Mythology. Number 1. Tikokura. In Polynesian mythology, Tikokura is a sea-dwelling evil spirit that takes the form of a giant wave. Tikokura is said to live near the Cook Island and is always accompanied by his companion, who is a shark. Tikokura is a prominent character in a myth that has to do with Naru, a hero within Polynesian mythology. Upon learning of the existence of this wave spirit and its shark comrade, Naru fearlessly entered the swirling currents of the ocean, surfboard in hand, and began hurling taunts and insults at Tikokura. Consumed by fury, Tikokura unleashed a monstrous wave that seized Naru, dragging him far from shore. Tikokura then tried to drown Naru by launching his wave body at the hero, but Naru got on his surfboard and glided across Tikokura's form. Frustrated that his plan wasn't working, Tikokura yelled for his shark friend to help. Not having any idea where the shark would pop out of, Naru began to worry. But luckily, his grandfather, Moko, was able to sense where the shark would appear, and he yelled out to his grandson from the beach when to dodge. After 8 days and 8 nights of the wave spirit and shark trying to kill Naru, the hero decided he had enough fun and tricked the two by giving them his surfboard, making it look like he drowned. Thinking that they had won, Tikokura and the shark returned to their home under the sea. Number 2. Kurangaituku. A half-woman, half-bird creature from Maori mythology, plays a significant role in a legend revolving around a man named Hatupatu. In this tale, Hatupatu is the youngest son of a family that recently arrived in New Zealand. While attempting to hunt birds in the forest one day, Hatupatu unexpectedly encounters the bird woman. Frantically attempting to escape, Hatupatu is swiftly captured and taken away by Kurangaituku. For several years, Hatupatu remains imprisoned in the bird woman's cave, where she keeps numerous birds and lizards as her pets. Depending on the version of the legend, Hatupatu either feigns friendship or chooses to marry the bird woman. However, the course of events takes a dramatic turn when Kurangaituku ventures out to hunt one day. Wary of his captivity, Hatupatu seizes the opportunity and slays all the bird woman's pets before making his escape. Upon discovering the fate of her beloved creatures, an enraged Kurangaituku pursues Hatupatu relentlessly. In a perilous moment, Hatupatu stumbles upon a massive rock and pleads for it to provide a hiding place. Astonishingly, the rock opens up, granting Hatupatu refuge inside. Not soon after, the bird woman appears, searching for Hatupatu. But eventually, believing that Hatupatu has fled, she passes by the rock, unaware of his concealed presence. Emerging from his hiding spot, Hatupatu seizes the opportunity to flee and reaches the region of mud pools. There, he lies in wait for Kurangaituku, luring her into a treacherous trap where she meets her demise in a boiling mud pool, consumed by the scorching heat. Number 3. The Nightmarchers. In Hawaiian mythology, the Nightmarchers are the ghosts and spirits of ancient Hawaiian warriors. During nights of reverence for the Hawaiian gods, kings, or chiefs, these apparitions are said to emerge from their resting places or rise from the depths of the ocean, embarking on a collective march towards sacred sites. Legend describes the Nightmarchers as warriors of normal stature, adorned in battle attire, wielding spears, clubs, and torches. Some beat war drums, while others blow haunting tones from conch shells, heralding their advance. Together, the Nightmarchers traverse through the night from sunset to sunrise, with their feet never touching the water or land, thus leaving no trace of their presence at dawn. As for obstacles, well, no barriers erected in their path hold power to deter them. According to Hawaiian beliefs, any mortal who gazes upon or defies the Marchers will meet a violent demise. Some assert that lying motionless, face down on the ground, displaying proper respect, will potentially spare the mortal from harm. Furthermore, mortals may be fortunate enough to encounter an ancestral Marcher who recognizes them. Upon meeting, the Marcher will shout "Na'u," meaning mine in Hawaiian, and the mortal will be shielded from harm by the entire warrior procession. In ceremonies honoring chiefs or kings, the Nightmarchers adapt to the preferences of their esteemed leader. If the monarch had a fondness for music, drums and chants would resound throughout the march. Conversely, if the ruler cherished peace and tranquility, the march will proceed in silence. Occasionally, the Nightmarchers are accompanied by Hawaiian deities, usually with 3 gods and 3 goddesses present. One of those goddesses always being Hayaka, the goddess of hula dancers, chants, medicine, and sorcery. Number 4. Erumia. In Melanesian mythology, Erumia is a colossal jellyfish of extraordinary proportions. Over 3 times the size of a human, she reigns as the mother of all jellyfish and assumes the esteemed role of the patron of fish. According to legend, her mere touch carries a lethal potency, as a single sting possesses the capacity to extinguish the life of a full-grown whale. As legend would have it, Erumia wields tentacles of astonishing length, stretching hundreds of feet in a mesmerizing display of power. With this extraordinary reach, she effortlessly ensnares her unsuspecting prey, a collection that occasionally includes humans who unwittingly cross her path. Number 5. Areop-Enap. Areop-Enap is a spider creature who played a major part in the creation myth of the Nauru peoples in Micronesia. In the myth, there was only Areop-Enap, a giant clam, and the sea. One day, Areop-Enap got too close to the clam and got swallowed. Inside the clam, Areop-Enap began to explore and eventually came upon 2 sea snails, one big and one small. After wrapping them in his legs, Areop-Enap fell asleep for 6 days and transferred some of his power to them while he slept. Upon awakening, Areop-Enap ordered the 2 snails to ascend to the hinge of the clam's shell and pry it open. As the 2 snails moved into position, they left behind a trail of bioluminescence, which eventually formed into a sea worm named Rigi. As hard as they could, the 2 snails tried to pry open the clam's shell, but they failed. So Areop-Enap went to the sea worm and cast a strength spell on it. With unwavering determination, Rigi positioned its head against the upper shell of the clam and its tail against the lower shell. He then summoned every ounce of his newfound strength and began to push. After many days, Rigi began to sweat, causing the interior of the clam to fill with water. As this volume of sweat continued to grow, the clam's resistance gradually waned, weakened by the salt infused within Rigi's sweat. Finally, with one last massive heave, Rigi unleashed its full force, shattering the clam shell open. With Areop-Enap free, he took the clam shells and used them to create the earth and the sky. Furthermore, the two snails that had accompanied the spider within the clam were raised high into the heavens, forever enshrined as the radiant sun and the enchanting moon. Using the clam's flesh as the building blocks, Areop-Enap formed islands. He then filled them with vegetation made and spun from his own intricate webs. After finishing, Areop-Enap turned to express gratitude to Rigi, only to find that the glowworm had succumbed to its own exertions and had died. Overwhelmed by sorrow, Areop-Enap gently enshrouded the fallen hero in delicate silk and raised Rigi into the sky as the Milky Way galaxy. Number 6. Abere. In the realm of Melanesian mythology, there exists a demoness known as Abere, characterized as a captivating and untamed woman. This mysterious being finds her home amidst the marshes and is usually accompanied by alluring young maidens who act as her servants. According to the ancient tales, Abere employs her otherworldly beauty to allure unsuspecting individuals. Once they are in her grasp, she conjures reeds to spontaneously emerge from the surroundings, binding the victims who have fallen under her spell. Once ensnared within her trap, Abere reveals her true nature, devouring the men and enchanting the women to forever be her servants. Number 7. The Hook Island Sea Monster. The Hook Island Sea Monster, also known as the Tadpole Creature, is a 90-foot long sea monster sighted off the coast of Hook Island. The monster was sighted by a man and his family in 1964 when it moved towards his ship, with its mouth open as if to attack. While the creature veered off in another direction before coming into contact with the ship, the family was able to get a good look at it and said the creature resembled a giant black tadpole with smooth black shark-like skin, a flat pointed head with eyes placed on top, and a gaping white mouth with sharp small teeth. Number 8. Kaupe. In Hawaiian mythology, there exists a malevolent spirit known as Kaupe, whose haunting calls echo through the night, luring unsuspecting souls towards their demise. This formidable being possesses the ability to mimic the voices of the wounded, preying on humans who traverse the island of Maui or Oahu. Kaupe takes on a terrifying form, appearing as an enormous man with a canine head and razor-sharp claws. Legend tells of an incident when Kaupe once abducted the son of a prominent chief from the island of Hawaii. Determined to rescue his child, the chief pursued the deadly creature all the way to Oahu. Seeking guidance, he sought the assistance of a kahuna who imparted incantations and prayers to combat Kaupe's power. Ultimately, the chief managed to rescue his captive son, yet Kaupe persisted in relentless pursuit. As the chase ensued, the father recited a prayer, imbuing him and his son with renewed speed. But Kaupe, ever tenacious, closed in on them. Once more, the father uttered the sacred words, and miraculously, a colossal boulder materialized, providing a hiding place for the desperate pair. Oblivious to their whereabouts, Kaupe sniffed the ground, desperately searching for their scent, unaware of the chief's stealthy ascent. Silently scaling the immense boulder, the chief perched at its summit, biding his time while Kaupe remained distracted. Seizing the opportune moment, the chief leapt into action, wielding a club adorned with shark's teeth. On his descent, the chief struck a devastating blow to Kaupe's skull, caving it in and killing the creature. A sigh of relief escaped the chief's lips as he and his son commenced their journey homeward, oblivious to the spirit that emerged from Kaupe's lifeless body. To this day, it is whispered that the lingering essence of Kaupe roams Oahu, ceaselessly searching for a pathway to reclaim his true form. Number 9. Taniwha. In Maori mythology, Taniwha are large supernatural beings that live in deep bodies of water. Revered as protective guardians, they assume the responsibility of safeguarding tribes, specific locations, or even individuals. Given their deep connections to particular tribes or individuals, Taniwha possess the ability to manifest in diverse forms, often resembling various animals. Among these, the most common forms include whales, sharks, and colossal lizards. Bound by an enduring pact, Taniwha dutifully stand as protectors, preserving the bloodlines and the very existence of the tribes they are associated with. Their role as guardians encompasses a range of actions, from warning of imminent dangers to imparting crucial information through humans who act as mediums. There's even stories of Taniwha rescuing individuals from the perils of drowning. In exchange for their unwavering guardianship, those linked to a Taniwha would offer the respect it deserved, honoring it with offerings such as sustenance. Only in the face of taboos would a Taniwha display aggression against a member of their own tribe. However, their protective nature did not extend to other tribes. On occasion, a Taniwha might stray, launching attacks upon different tribes, consuming some of their people, or abducting young men and women, assimilating them into their own kin. Moreover, during wars between tribes, Taniwha would engage in battle against each other. Once a Taniwha's tribe or bloodline had perished, they would become independent, free to wreak havoc at their own whims. Legend further suggests that the humans who served as mediums for the Taniwha would themselves become Taniwha upon their passing. Number 10. Adaro. Within Melanesian mythology, the Adaro are a group of proud and malevolent merman spirits birthed from the residual evil that lingers when a soul departs from this mortal realm. These mermen are described as men adorned with gills concealed behind their pointed ears and sprouting tail fins in place of feet. Their imposing presence is further accentuated by a horn reminiscent of a shark's dorsal fin that grows out of the top of their heads, while out of their foreheads sprouts a formidable weapon akin to a spear resembling that of a swordfish or sawfish. Being able to traverse the ocean at any depth, the Adaro also possess a remarkable ability to journey through rainbows, and at times they adopt the guise of a water sprout to travel the vast expanse of the sea quickly. Whenever an Adaro is agitated, even in the slightest, they become rage monsters and are compelled to seek retribution upon the culprit. They resort to hurling venomous fish capable of inflicting harm upon their target, or resort to diving into the realm of dreams, employing their magical prowess to torment and plague the restless slumber of the culprit. Number 11. Flaming Teeth. Flaming Teeth was a giant with fire-blazing teeth that were as large as logs. Originating from the Polynesian myths of Fiji, Flaming Teeth was a destructive giant that annihilated villages by destroying homes and devouring people. After witnessing the devastating aftermath of Flaming Teeth's wrath, a courageous group of men united in a mission to bring an end to the creature's reign of terror. Devising a cunning plan to outsmart the giant, some of them posed as enticing bait, drawing the attention of the giant beneath a looming cliff. With precise timing, men stationed atop the cliff pushed a giant boulder, skillfully landing it upon Flaming Teeth's neck, thus delivering the fatal blow that crushed the fearsome giant. Yet, even in death's grip, the embers of the giant's fiery teeth refused to fade. Despite Flaming Teeth's demise, his teeth continued to blaze with an unrelenting inferno. The triumphant men would safely transport the fiery teeth back to their village, allowing them to discover the secrets and knowledge of fire. Number 12. Abaia. In Melanesian mythology, there exists a colossal magical eel known as the Abaia. This magnificent creature finds its dwelling in the depths of lakes within the Oceanian region, assuming the role of protector for all the creatures there within. As the legend goes, should anyone dare to harm or excessively exploit the lake's creatures, Abaia would unleash the might of his enormous tail, summoning a devastating wave that would swiftly eliminate these intruders. Another captivating tale suggests that Abaia possesses the ability to conjure rainstorms of such magnitude that entire islands can become submerged. In one legend, a fisherman led his people to a lake where he had enjoyed an abundant catch the previous day. However, the people, driven by greed, began to overfish, and one woman even dared to touch Abaia while he slumbered beneath the water's surface. Enraged by the trespass and the depletion of his precious fish, Abaia unleashed his fury upon the heavens, commanding torrential rain to pour down upon the land, resulting in a flood that proved fatal for the fisherman and his people. The only survivor was an old woman who wisely refrained from consuming any of the ill-gotten fish. Number 13. The Hākuturi. In the Maori mythology of New Zealand, the Hākuturi are bird-like guardians charged with the solemn duty of preserving the sanctity of the forest. According to legend, they are the children of Tan, the woodland god who separated the sky and the earth with his strong legs. The Hākuturi are defenders, prepared to exact retribution upon any who dare desecrate its hallowed grounds. In one timeless myth, a man named Rata, a descendant of the thunder deity, decided to fell a tree from the forests without performing the correct incantations and rituals. In response to this transgression, the Hākuturi re-erected the fallen tree and scolded Rata. Apologizing profoundly, the Hākuturi accepted his remorse and turned the tree he was planning to cut down into a beautifully crafted canoe. Number 14. Maero. In Maori legend, the Maero are said to be supernatural beings who originally inhabited New Zealand. These formidable creatures were giants dwelling within the mountains and forests, and were described as dark-haired beings with long bony fingers adorned with razor-sharp fingernails. Notably, the Maero were renowned for their wild nature, malevolence, and love for violence. Armed with stone clubs, they would wield these weapons to hunt down and devour unsuspecting humans. It is said that as the Maori people arrived in New Zealand, the Maero grew angry by this intrusion, nurturing a deep-seated animosity towards the newcomers. Furthermore, an incident further fueled the animosity between the Maori and the Maero. A man daringly launched an attack on one of these giants, severing its limbs and decapitating it. Astonishingly, even in this mutilated state, the giant remained alive and cried out for assistance, sending the man fleeing for his life. Upon returning with a group of companions, the man discovered that the giant's body, limbs, and head had vanished without a trace. Number 15. The Ogres of Niihau. The legend tells of 5 brave men who ventured to Niihau, lured by its bountiful fishing grounds and hoping to provide for their struggling villages. After a long day at sea, the wary fishermen sought rest on the shore, anticipating another day of fishing. However, when dawn broke, they discovered only 4 among them. Assuming their companion had ventured off to explore a new fishing spot, the remaining 4 pressed on, gathering a plentiful haul for their villages. As night fell, they embarked on a search for their missing comrade, but he remained elusive. Alas, the following day arrived, and yet another fisherman vanished. The chilling realization dawned upon them. Something sinister gripped the island. Contemplating their options, they debated whether to flee, but their resolve to gather enough fish for survival compelled them to stay. Undeterred, they continued their fishing endeavors, and that night the three men fell into a slumber. Suddenly, piercing screams jolted two of the men awake. That night, they witnessed an ogre dragging their friend into the depths of the bush. With only two men remaining, they understood that their fate was sealed if they remained. However, retreating empty handed was not an option. Thus, instead of casting their nets, they constructed a sturdy log house and positioned two wooden figures of men by the window. Concealed beneath the dwelling, they awaited the arrival of the ogres. Time crawled by, but eventually the ogres emerged from the jungle, eagerly anticipating the slumber of the men in the window. Growing restless, they eventually ventured into the house, only to discover the ruse that had been played upon them. Seizing the moment, the two fishermen sealed the wooden cabin and set it ablaze, consuming the ogres within its fiery grip. To this day, the island of Nihiau remains burdened by the curse of the slain ogres, haunted by their vengeful spirits. Number 16, the Menehune. The Menehune, a legendary race of dwarf people in Hawaiian folklore, hold a significant place in the traditions of Hawaii. Considered the original inhabitants of the islands, these mysterious beings inhabit the depths of the forests and secluded valleys, far removed from human settlements. Shrouded in secrecy, the Menehune's existence remains hidden from the general population. Renowned for their exceptional craftsmanship, the Menehune are attributed with constructing awe-inspiring temples, fish ponds, and canoes. According to legend, these skilled builders only emerge under the cloak of night, diligently working to create their masterpieces. Yet, if they fail to complete their endeavors within the span of the night, they abandon their unfinished work, leaving it untouched. It is believed that the Menehune can only be perceived by children or those who share a special connection with them. For others, their presence remains veiled, their mysterious forms escaping ordinary sight. Number 17, Patupaiarehe. The Patupaiarehe are vampire-like beings in Maori mythology that live in the deep forests and hilly or mountain regions. Living in large guarded communities, they are described as pale-skinned with no tattoos anywhere on their body. They have blonde or red hair, can manipulate mist, have great strength, and hate fire. They avoid the sun as it's fatal to them, so they tend to be nocturnal or active on foggy days. While they don't suck blood like the European vampires, they tend to prefer raw food. They're also very territorial and hostile to humans, especially those who intrude on their lands. Although it should be mentioned that humans don't have the ability to see any structure they have built. While they aren't fond of humanity, they are usually a gentle race that enjoy music, hunting, and construction. Number 18, Ponaturi. Within Maori mythology, the Ponaturi emerge as a treacherous band of goblins inhabiting a realm beneath the sea. These mischievous beings are depicted as small and vile creatures, their greenish-white skin contrasting with their elongated fingers that end in sharp claws. Similar to trolls and vampires, the Ponaturi harbor a profound fear of the sun, for its rays bear the power to extinguish their existence. Hence, they confine themselves to the depths of the sea during the day, only venturing onto land once night cloaks the sky. Legends of the Ponaturi often feature their nefarious acts of kidnapping family members or precious treasures. Additionally, certain accounts attribute them with proficiency in the arts of magic, further augmenting their mysterious nature. And that's a wrap for today's adventures, fellow myth seekers. We hope you enjoyed our video today on the 18 amazing creatures from the Oceanian region. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Also, don't forget to come back to the channel soon, because we're going to have a lot of new creature videos posted in the next few weeks. And with that, we'll see you next time on Wild Mythology.